Hello. Now that we've looked at what tantric massage is and how to awaken and distribute the energy over your receiver's body, you're left as the giver in a situation where your receiver might be buzzing, ready to jump out of his skin because there's so much going on his body. What do you do with all that energy? Remember when you were massaging, when you were doing a cock massage, potentially shifting the energy all over your receiver's body, at some point I said to listen to his breath and to match his breath and match your and his breath with the strokes that you're giving him to distribute the energy. If all goes well, you may have experienced his breath going faster and shorter, and you've been following him. In this third section of the tantric massage, you may find that the shift is going towards you guiding your receiver in particular directions rather than following what he is doing and going with what comes from him. Because at this point, your receiver may be a little bit confused about what's going on with his body and the energies going left and right and why his breath is going faster and slower. So he needs a bit of guidance at that point. In order to do that, you will need to understand what's actually going on here. I said in the first video that when you're doing a sports massage, you're dealing with removing certain aches and blockages in the physical body. With tantric massage, the energy that you've just created and shifted into the body is kind of doing the same thing, but on an energy level. You need to get rid of certain blockages and to make sure that energy flows freely. Your partner, your receiver, is in a state that on a physical level could be considered edging. On the energetic level, this is very similar. There is a certain level of excitement and the energy is sloshing about. So what do you do about it? You need some level of release. On a physical level, that would be an orgasm with an ejaculation. On the energetic level, that would be an internal orgasm where your mind gets blown, for lack of a better word, and then your energy level goes down very quickly, like it is the case after a physical ejaculation. But in this case, it's going to be a mental lack of energy and potentially a physical one, because tantric massages can be very physical. There can be a lot of movement involved and your body will react to it. The best way to guide your receiver to that climax is to use breath. They're already breathing in either a regular or a fairly erratic fashion. So your role would be to bring them to follow you rather than you following them. That could be done by simply indicating to them that they should try and follow your rhythm of breath. At that point, you will start guiding them from a fairly slow level of breathing to a gradually ever faster one, and associate this with the different chakras. Again, that could be done with vocal clues by saying breathe into your root chakra and breathe very slowly and follow my breath. And then you would go very deep breaths. For example, and they would follow. And then gradually, after having done a couple of breaths, maybe 8, maybe 10, you would shift to the next chakra and go gradually faster. Your voice, because you're breathing faster, would also go gradually higher and higher pitched. So the deep, hollow breaths that go all the way down will gradually go faster and higher pitched. At the same time, you might want to visualize and tell your receiver to visualize breathing into the different chakras by giving vocal clues, saying sacral chakra and breathing a little bit faster, going up all the way to the crown chakra. That could end with both of you going very, very fast, like this. So you find your way. It may sound really weird, but in the moment, that is exactly the right thing to do, and it will feel right. Even though right now, this sounds a bit ridiculous. At some point, you will reach a very, very fast pace of breathing. And you may end the breathing with the actual climax. That climax is often called the big draw. Why? Because at that point, the receiver will be asked to take a couple of really deep breaths with a countdown, and I would assume it's about 10. And the giver counts down while the receiver takes very deep breaths. And at the end of the countdown, the idea is that the receiver holds their breath for as long as they can. And then let out every ounce of air in their lungs completely with a sound of their own choosing. That could be screaming, anything that comes, let it go. And then rest completely. The role of the receiver is to just be. Do nothing. Just listen to what's going on in your body. Whatever comes to mind, whatever happens in the body is their experience. Which means that the giver takes on yet another role. From giving, you're shifting to supporting. That will take the form of making sure that the receiver is comfortable. That could be a blanket to keep them warm, a cover over their eyes so they're not distracted by anything that goes on around them. And then let them be. This could take up to 5, 10, 15 minutes until such time that the receiver starts gently shifting or moving and the giver realizes what's going on and initiates the final phase of the massage. If the giver realizes that the receiver doesn't really do anything, that they seem kind of stuck, the giver might initiate the final phase as well. That would take the shape of suggesting to move the toes, the fingers, the extremities at first, and then gently starting to shift around, maybe move the head to the left, to the right, very gentle movements. And once a point is reached where the receiver is ready to sit up, it's a good idea to help them sit up and have a glass of water ready for them to drink, basically making them comfortable, holding them, maybe giving them a hug, sitting behind them and allowing them to lean against you. Body contact is very, very helpful at that point because the receiver will come from a place where they were completely left alone. At that point, it's really up to the receiver to decide what happens. The receiver may be just happy to have received a massage. They may have gone into a spirit quest. They may have met their maker in a vision. They may just have been bored out of their mind. Anything goes. Don't expect anything. Here's a final word on tantric massage. As you've seen, there are multiple steps to a tantric massage. Just going into cock massage could be something nice that has nothing to do with a tantric massage as such. It's just giving a gentle, nice feeling of touch. You could go even further and maybe move from there into energy shifting and use your whole body to connect with the receiver. And at that point, it might veer off into sex or into just a hug. It might stop at any point as long as you take care of the energies that have been created. Tantric energy, Kundalini energy, can be dispersed by sex as well as by the technique I just showed you with the big draw. So no harm done. Just make sure that you release in some shape or form. I can only hope that this series on tantric massage has given you a different insight into what tantric massage is about. It straddles the line between the sensual, the sexual, and the physical. And that's what makes it so difficult to understand. I hope you'll give it a go at some point and you'll find somebody who knows about tantric massage. I would strongly suggest not to try it with somebody who has as little experience as you might have. You need one of the partners to know what they're doing. In any case, be well and stay well.